Here is the review of the Transformers Studio Series 86 Perceptor. He is, as you can already tell here, a microscope, like he has been in the Generation 1 cartoon and also the 1986 Transformers the movie. So getting a closer look here, you could see he is the Perceptor colors here, which is red, light blue, black, and he also does have some silver paint, which are on these two things, which are the knobs here. And he also does have another knob here, which does rotate like you would, well, with a real microscope. These things on the sides and also this here does rotate when you're trying to get a closer look at what you're seeing here on this little tray. But these do not move like you would with a real microscope. And that's really the only problem that I have with it. And also, the little lens here does also move up and down when you rotate the knob here for the scope part, but on here it doesn't. And you can see it does have the little glass tray here that you can put something on here. So that way you could get a little closer look at it using the scope here. And the scope part can move up and down on a soft ratchet here. And it also does untab here on this light blue part here. And it does move up and down on this other joint here. And I'll get to why this moves when we get to the robot mode. But taking a look at, and the little lens, well, the lens for the scope part does have a nice reflection here. Like you can see my hand moving. as for the rest of the microscope mode itself, there's not a whole lot to it. It just looks really nice and looks exactly like how it does on the cartoon and also the 86 movie, and giving you a little 360 view here. Oh, and you do have the nice Autobot symbol here. And before we get into his transformation, he does, of course, come with an accessory, and that is his little gun here. And there are a number of ways you can store this gun while he's in his little microscope here. And that is, he does have a port here where you can attach the gun to if you want to, or you can plug it this way. So you can display it however you want. But he also does have some ports here and here on both sides, so you can plug it like this. And he also does have some ports here and here on these things here, so you could plug it like this if you want to. And that's about all of the ports that he has. Oh, and he does also have some ports here and here, but we'll get to these when we get to his robot mode. And that's about it for his microscope. Now, but before we get into his robot mode, he does have like a second mode. And that is like his tank mode. And the original G1 Perceptor did also have a tank mode. And I can't remember if he had a tank mode once in the cartoon, or he might have not have a a tank mode in the cartoon. Because I know he didn't have it in the '86 movie. And I don't know if he had it once in the cartoon. But if he did, let me know in the comment section below. But to get him into his tank mode, what you're going to do is you're going to take these and you want to rotate them down on these black things. Because if you just take them and just rotate them down like this, you're well they do rotate on these joints here. So you want to make sure that you want to rotate them on these joints here. So that they look like this. Now you want to take these and rotate them up, and you can see there is a hole here that will go into this tab right here. And just do that on the other side. And if you want to, you can kind of position this up to make it look like a cannon. And there you have his tank mode. And the tank mode, it is not bad, but to me it's not great either. It's just like okay for me. But it does have some molded in tank treads here on both sides here. But on the bottom, he doesn't have any like little molded in plastic wheels. So all he can do is just slide. He can just slide around. And you can still move the turret up and down, because this was the scope part of the microscope. So, yeah, the tank mode to me is not bad, but it's not great either. To me, it's like okay. So to get him into his robot mode, you just want to untap these out, and then you want to bring them all the way down. So they look like this. Then take these black things, which will become his feet, and flip them up. Now for these things, you want to untap them and bring them down. And these just tap into, if I can find it. Oh, okay. These just tap into these red tabs into these little slots here. Now for the microscope part, what you want to do here is you want to take this red part here and untap it from that hole and this peg and bring it down. Then you want to take the scope part here and bring it out on this red part here. And then you just want to bring up the scope part here. And then bring down the scope here on this hinge joint here to make it like a shoulder cannon. Then take these things and bring these up, and these will tap into these red tabs here, and these are going to form his arms. So you want to rotate them down, and you want to flip out his hands. And then you want to take this piece and flip it up to make his chest. Excuse me. And now for the head, you want to come to the back here and flip up this black thing here. Until it taps into place, and rotate his head around. And you're done. And he looks great. Looks just like Perceptor from the cartoon, and also the 1986 Transformers the movie. All around. I really do like how this figure turned out. But I do have one issue with him, but we'll get to that when we get to the articulation. But let's get a closer look here. You can see he does have a very nice head sculpt here. And he does have some blue paint on his eyes. And some gold paint on, yeah, it is gold paint on the head crest here. And some nice, like, gunmetal gray on his face here. And coming to his chest here, I will have to back the camera up some so y'all could see what I'm showing y'all. And coming down to his chest here. And he does have, he does have some black paint here on the top of his shoulders here. And he does have all of the exact same red, light blue, and black paint on him. And the side view here, and the back here, and the other side. And all around looks really cool. Now for his articulation, his head is on a ball joint, but it is kind of limited due to the shape of his head. And he can't really look up or look down. Well, he could look down a little bit, but not up. Although if you want to, you can use that transformation joint if you want to. And the shoulder cannon does detach, well, like I showed you in the microscope mode, from that little blue hinge joint. So you could have it moved up and down. And this will help you to have Perceptor look this way, so that his little shoulder cannon doesn't hinder his view. And another thing you can do, if you want to, you could also bring it all the way down to his back, if you want to. And it does have a little tab here that will go into that hole right there. So if you want to display it on his back. Ball joint at the shoulders, bicep swivel, elbow, waist swivel. Legs can go forward, back, in, and out. thigh swivel, and this is the issue here, which you barely saw from his articulation, and that is sometimes when you're trying to move his leg, you'll end up moving that little transformation joint here, which I wish that this would lock into place somewhere. That's really the only issue I have with him in robot mode, and that is I wish these would lock into place. But he does have a knee joint and a wider range of an ankle pivot. And like you heard, or if you barely heard it, his feet do tap in, because it does have a tab here that goes into this hole here when you bring his feet up. And that's it. And you can have him hold his gun if you want to. Or you can plug it on the same ports like I showed you in his microscope mode. And also the ports here on the bottom that I showed you, which were from his microscope mode, these are so that you can plug in those effect parts from like the Transformers Siege line, or the Earthrise line, or the ones from Kingdom, so you could give them like he has some rocket feet, like he's flying, if you want to. And just like with all the other Studio Series figures, you do get this little backdrop here. And you just bring these out, and you can see it does have a picture of Autobot City here. And put Perceptor here so you can see how he looks with his backdrop. And he looks really good with his backdrop. And that's about it for Perceptor. So, final thoughts. His microscope looks really cool, but the problem I have with it is I wish those little knobs would function, like they would turn, instead of just being solid pieces of plastic like just molded in and not functional. And his tank mode, it is not bad, but it's not good either to me. And his robot mode looks really cool, but the one problem I have with it is when you're trying to move his legs, you'll end up moving that transformation joint, which I wish that those would lock into place. But everything else about him looks really cool. So I think that's about it. So there you have it. Transformers Studio Series 86 Perceptor. And if you like this video, give me a like, comment, and subscribe for more. And if you want to check out some other videos you may have missed, there's a playlist set up on my YouTube channel. Or if you want to, y'all could also follow me or support me on Patreon. And I will leave a link to my Patreon account in the description box down below. Or you can click on the little Patreon box right here in this corner. So I think that's about it. So thanks for watching.